Nothing like a warm shower after a hard day's labor. Am I right, Sam? Nirvana. A porter But why did he appear in that so-called Nirvana? Or rather, that realm of the dead? And then there's the fact that he clearly spoke Lu's name. If we have another opportunity to visit that mysterious realm, then perhaps we can get some answers. That place we were sent to, the land of the dead, it strikes me as odd that it was submerged underwater. And did you see those columns of ice, the ones descending from the surface all the way to the floor? Afterwards, I realized what they reminded me of. The columns were reminiscent of a phenomenon known as brinicles. When seawater freezes and turns to ice, salt concentrates are released into the surrounding water. This brine is heavier than the water around it due to its higher density. It therefore sinks deeper into the ocean. As it flows towards the ocean floor, its lower temperature results in the formation of ice. And as this process continues, it can produce column-like ice structures. Any living creatures unfortunate enough to become it, little wonder they're called icicles of death. By the way, Sam, you saw Tamara with the apples in the corridor, right? It seems she was training, trying to gain more control over her temporal abilities, taking green unripened apples and attempting to age them until they're red and ready to eat. But she's still having trouble getting it just right. She's taking it too far and making them rotten. There's no need to rush things. She'll get the hang of it soon enough. In the meantime, let's continue to support her.
Location, you should be able to see some snow-capped mountains, Sam. Your next objective can be found in the heart of them, in the form of the Eastern Environmental Observatory. Once again, you'll need to link up several sites en route to this destination. The first such site to be brought online is the Chronobiologist Shelter, which is due west. Pick up the main order on this
Delivery route finalized.
Order accepted. Thank you.
friendly face. It's been a while since I've had visitors. I'll check your cargo right away. There's barely any damage I can see. That's great. Really great. I can't tell you how relieved I am that you got it here safe and sound. Oh, wow. You found this? I should have no trouble continuing my... I'm finally part of... I've been looking forward to this moment. I should be able to conduct research at a faster pace than ever. Please accept this. I picked... You... Oh, and in case you're curious, the cargo you brought me contained a stock of cryptobiote variants. They appear to alter your body's internal clock for a brief period when consumed. Just another example of the many ways it's introduced us to Timefall and the beach, as well as the EEs that brought about... You know, I can't help but wonder if extinction entities are... Anyway, I'm glad you're here. Well, the porter who used to come through, it was bad enough that they gave up doing delivery work for good. They still managed to deliver my last shipment, but it was covered with... When I asked what had happened, they just said it was the work of the Headless Rider. People have been talking about the Rider for a while, actually. And there's this guy not far from here who's dedicated to studying street mysteries like that. I sent him some details, and he said he'd need to ask around for someone to lend him a hand. You should keep your eyes peeled for trouble until he figures out what we're dealing with. They're cryptobiotes that have become infected with chiral microbes, parasites that induce changes in the host. Chronobiotes can accelerate various processes within the human body. Simply put, eating one should make everything around you appear to move more slowly. Much like Timefall and the beach. This disruption of the natural temporal flow is continued study of chronobiotes should therefore help us to solve... At least that's... So I've heard a little bit, you know, the mass extinctions of trilobites, ammonites, and that apparently all these ancient events were set in motion. I'm told there was a human extinction entity, and that EEs had umbilical cords linking them to the beach, which could be why their fossilized remains were somehow... The parasitic chiral microbes that latch onto chronobiotes also originally came from the beach. So, you could even think of them as another form of umbilical tether linking... It's a pattern that shows... And the reason why I believe further study of these microbes could help prevent another extinction event. Now that I have a chiral network connection, this sort of research should finally be possible. I hope this isn't the last time we meet. With no one else around to make deliveries, I would... Oh, by the way, a suborder just got posted about those strains. It's probably in your interest to find out more anyway. And, who knows, you might even be able to come... I just hope we can get to... Thanks again.
Well then, Sam. By the way, we have info on Nilvana to share. Could you join me on the break?
Order completed. Well done.
Disengaging weapons restriction.
We managed to learn a few more things about Nilvana. You may remember that he was a porter contracted by Bridges. That's what we told you before. Since then, I received a mail.
Another one from our very own Hartman, I'm guessing. Look, we sure we can trust them? Whoever they are?
They are almost certainly someone on the inside. Someone with access to the UCA's administrative systems. It seems Neil Vanna was attending therapy sessions.
But the real revelation is who Vanna's therapist was. Charlie, can you please explain?
A specialist who worked with other doomed sufferers, including one Sam Bridges. She was your therapist and your partner.
Lucy?
Neil Vanna's name was on our client list. Right there in black and white.
That's crazy.
We also uncovered a photo you should see.
Per the records, they perished in a void out which claimed an entire city. A void out only you survived, Sam.
Lucy was pregnant at the time.
It wasn't mine. The child she was carrying. She straight up told me to my face. I never had any kids. She was just my shrink, helping me to work through my often phobia. That's all she ever was to me.
Moby Dick, or The Whale, seems to be one of Tarman's favorite novels. As the name suggests, it's a story about a white sperm whale named Moby Dick. Captain Ahab, one of the main characters, uses a prosthetic leg made of whalebone to replace the one Moby Dick took long ago. He's obsessed with getting revenge against the whale, which he hates with a terrible passion, all while nursing the phantom pain of his lost leg. In the end, Ahab fails to exact vengeance on his foe and is dragged into the sea. His crew's only survivor is Ishmael, the book's narrator. He was rescued after clinging desperately to a coffin-shaped life buoy. That's right, a coffin was his savior. Ironic, isn't it? How you use a thing makes all the difference.
You really don't remember me.
That woman just now, was that...
Lucy. That was Lucy.
Ah, yes. She was your therapist, wasn't she?
Ooh, just the man I've been waiting for. The Metagenomus. We'd like you to capture the timefall-resistant emu I identified and take it to her shelter. You might find the capturing part tricky, but if you're real quiet... Now, this emu appears to possess a certain unique temporal... It may well have some kind of... The metagenomicist might have different insights in... Personally, I'm hoping this... Also, there's another order I want you to handle when you have a moment. It's related to those strange incidents I mentioned earlier. They might not be occurring right on my doorstep, per se, but they're still very troubling. Help us out, Sam.
destination. Delivery route finalized.
Order accepted. Thank you.
Take care.
Gotcha.
Yeah!
Look that one. Snag. Gotcha. Look that one. Just a bit further now. That's the way.
Wowzer!
Security measures lifted. Weapons detected. Being
Oh, hey. I appreciate you coming all this way. Allow me to take a look at that cargo you carry. easier. Well, how about that? A surprise delivery. I owe you one, mate.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
So, I finished examining that cargo you brought on over. Now, I know this isn't your fault, but this thing has been absolutely savaged. I highly doubt human or animal involvement. Kinda looks as though it was battered with a large heavy pole, but... And there are also parts that appear to have been melted. Not to mention the unusual tie marks imprinted on the surface. Putting all the pieces together, I reckon this is likely the work of the headless rider I've heard rumors about. In all honesty, though, seems like it was set upon by not one, but several riders. Sheer damage is proof enough of that. Yeah, we're looking for multiple villains, I'd say. They won't come out and wreak havoc at just any old time. There's got to be a reason they attack. Mind helping me figure out what that reason is? That way we can set the minds of porters. Once we know more about them, I can indulge my curiosity and I'd be happy for you to hook me up. If you're keen to do so, and pick up the sub-order I posted. I've included the relevant information in the order details.
Order completed. Well done.
Disengaging weapons restriction.
Let's go! This is the spot where it was last seen. Continues are awfully fast. This search may take a while. Wonderful. We've secured the animal. Let's deliver it to the metagenomicist.